Hello everyone, thank you for joining Firefly Moon Tarot. This is our Cancer cold moon reading for the moon in Gemini. If you just noticed an edit, I'm sorry, I sneezed real quickly. So I just want to start off with talking a little bit about this cold moon. Now, full moons are, the moon in general is ruled by Cancer, the sign of Cancer, which is rules the fourth house. So it is going to be a time of emotion, and especially during full moons, emotions can tend to boil up. The seventh house is rooted in family foundation, places that we seek comfort and security. It's also about fertility, so the fertility of ideas, the fertility of, the Empress, that Empress energy of bringing forth life. This is known as a storyteller's moon, which is the full moon in Gemini, which is where this moon is passing through. That is all about the story of the evil twins. During this time of the year, especially as we head into the new year, we want to be wary of how we create our story. Now, we do want to tell our story. This is a storyteller's moon. We just want to make sure that the story isn't being told predominantly through the lens of our emotions or our perceptions or our hopes. We want to root this in a sense of facts and a sense of reality. So a little bit of that King of Swords energy. It leads you to also not presume to have, set yourself up for these unnecessary arguments with people where you presume to know what they're thinking, or you rewrite what they said to coordinate to your perception of it. You filter it through your own lens and scope, thus changing the actual narrative. Be wary of those tendencies. They can lead to greater stress during this time, and my channel is here to create less stress. It is hopefully to guide you towards a more fulfilling reaction or response or engagement with the full moon process, which is highly emotional. If you haven't checked out my intro about how to utilize this channel, please do so. I will link it up in the description right now of this video. Now, what else about this moon is Gemini itself is ruled by the god of Mercury, which is the messenger of senses. So again, your emotions can be you could cry for no reason, you can burst out in anger for no reason. So it's very high sensitivity to emotions and senses right now. This includes the sense of sound as well. So you will feel drawn to possibly listen to your favorite playlist that you haven't heard in a while, whether it's a Christmas playlist, 'tis the season, or it's your favorite summer playlist, or it's your favorite workout playlist, and whatever grounds you in a sense, find that connection to sense and ground yourself. That's what this time needs right now to prevent the miscommunication that can be prone to appearing during this time of year, because it can cause unnecessary unalignment. There's no reason to create more trouble for yourself. Now, speaking of grounding, meditation is a good practice during this time of not just this time of year of December, because there's usually people, you have to really balance your personal and professional life if you're having it, or even if you're a child, or not child, but a teenager, adolescent, you can I don't want to hang out with my family. I remember I was there, I want to be with my friends. I finally have off, balancing that friend, family balance life. And grandparents, you haven't seen your grandkids in a while, or so you're really balancing either, because this is all about tradition too. Traditions it's set down through generations. So you're now passing the torch to the next tradition. Try not to be that grandparent that comes to the house of your daughter or your daughter-in-law or father or son or son-in-law and be like, oh well, we did it this way, or I can help you make that better. This is allow the traditions to be formed during this time. Don't create that unnecessary tension, especially during the holiday season. And I would recommend, again, I'm getting back to the point, meditation. Meditation can help ground you. Breathing practices. Just take a couple seconds when you notice that the heat is starting to rise within you, and your temper's getting hot. Just breathe it out. Breathe it out. Also, just a general message during this time, when I was preparing all these readings, I had, again, the senses were strong, so there were a bunch of fire engines at the apartment complex across the street. So I was out on my balcony with, of course, a tarot deck in my hand. And that I knew, like in my mind, before I even finished the thought about I'm going to drop one of these cards, I actually dropped one of the cards down to my neighbor below. Now, I had to go down and get it from him. And in order to show him what it was that I was looking for, I brought a sample card. Now, when I got the card back and I looked at both the card that I took as an example and the card that fell out, the card that fell out in the Mythical Goddess deck was the 10 of Wind, which is titled as Illusion, and that is the Moon in Gemini card. And the card that I used an example to get the card back was the 7 of Fire in this deck, titled Courage, which is the Mars in Leo card. So this really, I think it was a message to everyone who's watching these, that during this time of the Gemini moon, really use that Mars in Leo energy to help protect and shield yourself. It's all about creating those healthy boundaries. It's about knowing that there's adversity ahead of you and understanding the challenges that you're having to face during this time, and conquering it through practice, a clear practice of control and boundaries, and that emotional intelligence. Now, when I was talking about the Gemini moon, the reason that there could be challenges during this time is that Gemini is a very adept multitasker, especially during this time. And the moon, the problem is that those multitasking situations may lead to distractions. So you may end up not paying enough attention where you need to pay attention to, and that can distract you from what needs to get done. So that's all that 7, of fire energy is, bringing it back to a practice, a clear guideline, a healthy boundaries, emotional intelligence. So that was just the main message for everyone. Now, this is our Cancer group, our lovely Cancers. And so first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining me. If you skipped past the introduction and just came straight to the channeled messages, I did have just one simple channeled message that kind of came through, and it specifically was the 5 of Cups energy, but not just a 5 of Cup energies. Specifically, the illustration that is associated with the Light Seers deck is what I got for you. This 5 of Cups energy. Now, in the dream, it came at so basically, let me tell you what I interpreted from what the message was in this, is that you're not seeing what's right there. In fact, you're avoiding it. You're actively avoiding, either a solution or a love or a connection or a answer or an opportunity. You're either avoiding it because you don't think you want it, or you are distracted by other things. Like I said, distraction is a real issue during this time of year, and you're just not seeing it because there's so many other things you're focusing on, and you don't think that this can happen for you or to you. But specifically what this one is, because it's the only one with this real Ace of Cups in the background, you're literally just, tipping over, slowly giving all your energy out to everything else. I don't want to say tragically, but in this case, you're willingly just giving your energy out, and it could be to the wrong places, where right behind you is this Ace of Cups. Now, as the way it came through, oddly, in the dream, because I get most of my or my channel messages in dreams, and then just reflective kind of answer, like connections, you know, was you were at a restaurant and, you know, part of a group, and this semi-famous hockey player walks in, and somehow he takes notice of you, but you just like brush by him quickly to try and get out of that restaurant because it was getting too crowded. Like you had other things you had to do, other places you had wanted to go, and it was in a mall, so it seemed like there was lots of things that had to happen. Like you had to move your car, you had to validate a ticket, you had to return some items here, so you just wanted out. Where something that wants to connect with you, whether it's a message or like I said, an opportunity or a person, something literally wants to connect to you. Your spirits may be trying to connect to you, but you are just so distracted and you're moving too quickly to see the opportunity or to accept the opportunity now. And except some of you are literally willfully avoiding it. Like there was also a time when she made eye contact with the hockey player and like semi-famous person, I don't know, and like made eye contact and then walked away because you just did not want to have to deal with whatever that was you just felt, you know? So, I mean, as you see in this card, it's not just the energy of all the cups she's giving. Because she's becoming so stuck in a way, she's literally giving out energy she doesn't know she's giving out because she's willfully avoiding this. I mean, this is what she's willfully dumping out. This is what she's unwillfully giving away. So that is your channeled message for you. I will keep this, you know, kind of in the background because as we proceed through, you know, just want you to be mindful of, you know, being aware of what are you avoiding. You know, maybe this is something you need to journal. And why are you avoiding it? All right. Now, I have already cleansed our space with the sage. I have shuffled your cards. And I am ready to start with our Cancer Moon reading. Oh, wow, that just popped right out there, didn't it? And what a good first card to pop out. That is the Sun card. So, I mean, you're definitely, I mean, you even, like Cancer, you rule the moon, you know? So, you're really connected to the moon, and it's celestial partner, or even relationships, as what we're kind of talking about, is the sun. You know, they're the two main celestial bodies in our sky that share our sky. Okay. Also, like I mentioned earlier, Leo is a energy that you will need to utilize to get through some of this moon energy, and Leo rules the sun. Next up, we have the Four of Coins. So I'm seeing a worry around money right now, especially, I mean, obviously the holidays could have you spending unnecessarily, and some people may be worrying about the recession. So there's one that flipped over, yeah. You may have to attend parties that you don't really want to attend. You may have to buy gifts for people who aren't really as close to you, but maybe your office requires it, or maybe, you know, society kind of, those social contracts that we have about who we buy gifts to, you know, kind of like you want to show appreciation, but you don't really want to buy gifts. You may be having to go to like community parties, work parties, your significant other's parties, birthday parties, even during this time, baby shower, wedding parties, like all these extra costs that you might have to be incurring. And what I'm seeing right now is like the sun is, you'll get through it. Don't worry. Don't stress too much. All these things, like the giving of gifts, the offering, the giving will make you happy in the end. Going to these parties will not be as stressful as you think they are. They will, they will bring to you a sense of happiness, a sense of joy that you really need during this time, because this is some stressful energy. I mean, look at this vulture, just, you know, protecting this woman, like hiding this woman from the world, from other vultures possibly, but even from that hummingbird in the background. Okay, the Knight of Coins. Now, I mean, and the money won't be gone for long. Oh, no, this is the King of Coins. This is the King of Coins in reverse. Apologies. Now, you don't have a lot of money to start with, obviously, so that's why you're stressed. You're already pinching. Like I said, the recession might be on your mind. You could be like coming of an age where you're starting to realize the actual value of money and what it represents in society. So you may be like noticing that your parents are going through these stressful periods, and that you may want to do something to help, or you're starting to realize that, man, I'm part of the problem. Maybe I shouldn't be asking for this much, or, you know, maybe you're a grandparent and you're seeing your either like one of your sons or daughters or family members, like you're seeing them struggle through these holidays. All right, so that's what I'm seeing to start with. Let's see. Now, first, again, if you, I will explain how kind of my reading goes. I don't have a specific set of this is past, present, future, love, money, career. I mean, this just all comes out, and then what usually happens is there's a what, and there's a how, and there's kind of like an extra specific spirit message, a spirit guided message. So I go through and see what the energy says, and then I relay it. Okay, so I do want to mention before, as I was meditating on your cards, I asked spirits if there was any specific cards I need to look up, so I understood the meaning more deeply for, and this was a card that came up. There were 3. So that is definitely one of them. There we go. There we go. I knew that I had to put this one up because I have to put this one down to fit in. All right, last 2 cards. Cancer Moon in this Gemini Storyteller's Moon. This is the cold moon, which it was named after the Mohawk Indians named it, and we've kind of just stuck with it. Then the full moon during the cold moon is the Gemini moon, which is the Storyteller's Moon. So, all right, we have all our cards here out. It's very interesting. Most everything here is in the reverse. Everything here is upright. And everything here are swords. Very interesting. Underneath the deck, we have 10 of Wands. So this is kind of that energy I was getting with this. There is burden. The energy around you right now, you feel burdened by. The extra stress is put on you. And these 10 different branches, I'm really getting how I mentioned that multitasking earlier. Like you feel like you're being spread in 10 different directions. You're trying to grow 10 different projects, or you're trying to make 10 different people happy. Like you are literally just overwhelmed that it's sucking the life out of you, which is very similar to what I said about this. Not only are you giving your energy away freely to things, but the energy is starting to suck out of you like against your will, all because you're avoiding something very important. Now, maybe we should try and see what it is that you're avoiding as we work through this. That might be a direct message of what we're trying to avoid, which may be this one, since most of it is in reverse. So I'm going to go through there. So here we have the 3 of Coins, the 7 of Cups, and the Lovers, all in reverse. And then we've got it ending out with the 2 of Coins in upright. So I'm going to actually start in the opposite direction. I'm going to start in the west where things were ending. So whatever this is, it's going to lead to a decision. So a decision needs to be made because this is all about juggling. I'm looking. She literally has 2 different children, or a child and an animal. Which I believe in this case they actually are part of the same family, is the folklore behind this one. Yes, they're basically twins split in half. So you'll see that the bear is the upper half of the body, and the baby cherub type is the lower half, and then here the baby is the upper half and the bear is the lower half. So it's really about juggling these two opposing kind of species, factors, just trying to meld together and find balance, which is probably why this justice is here. So finding balance and finding a clear, like, you know, he's on top of the yin and yang. And what we want to understand about the yin and yang is one is active energy and one is inactive energy in this case. And this is a very male and female also they represent. So this could be balancing out that very activeness and your inactive energies, your male energies and your female energies, not gender specific. So in the end of this, so we have the Three of Coins, which the Three of Cups there, you want to enjoy the parties, things, you are going to have fun, even though you have to spend your money. But, you know, what we're worried about here, again, this is another choice card. This is the Seven of Cups. This is another choice card. However, in reverse, since it's in reverse, that's good. It means you're getting closer to making your choice. You no longer have 7 options is what I'm getting. What I'm seeing here is you've limited it down to 2 solutions. And maybe even just juggling only 2 things instead of the 7 things. And the 7 things from the 9 things. So you're slowly either excommunicating yourself from certain expenses that you have to make, or you're excommunicating which could actually involve, like, you know, projects, whether you have a child that you have to do something for their school, or they're in a sports team, or, you know, your work requires, you know, you could do a CSR day, like a community service representative day, or you're cleaning out your closet to help, you know, donate for the season, or offering food up. Like, there's certain things that you've just decided, you know, maybe I could use that food this year instead of giving it away. Or maybe I can use that jacket instead of giving it away. Now, again, the Three of Coins does talk, again, it's about the money situation. So you were hoping for more teamwork to get some of this done, to create more wealth from yourself, but you're finding that you're going to have to do a lot of this on your own. You don't have this teamwork ability. Like, and it may not be because you don't have it. You chose not to. You wanted to go on your own, and you wanted to do it yourself. You didn't either want to share the rewards, therefore you didn't want to share the burden. So this may be something that you picked up on your own. You know, very similar. This is all about choices. I mean, getting to this, the Lovers. The Lovers is known as a choice card. Now, it is in reverse. So there may be a choice between choosing actual love or money. Or, you know, like, I don't know how that plays into it. I mean, obviously, in the end, I think it's about finding the balance. Now, obviously, you veer more towards the material, like the solution is being more actual practical than just the concept of, you know, love. Of course, and this could also be literally what you're avoiding. Purposely trying to avoid love. You just want to push it aside, push it back. You're not ready to get into any kind of commitment or relationship right now because you just have too much on your plate. And that's what you may be deciding to do here. So, like, this is definitely, you have choices to make. You have to decide why, you know, this energy, you know, how to stop giving away your energy. And it is by slowly cutting down the choices. Like, you have the Seven of Cups that you're cutting down. You had the Three of Coins, and it's down to like these 2 choices, you know, the Lovers and the Two of Coins pretty much designate 2 choices. The Justice represents 2 balancing scales. So dedicate your energy towards 2 specific things that you really need to get done. Now, I see that there is a party of some sort that is coming up, or a festival or a celebration of some kind. This could be one of the things that you have to focus on instead of some of the other things. Also being smart with your money, you know, again, knowing where to dispense your funds. As a kid, you may be saving, like this might be your first time where you get to either buy something for yourself or buy something for your parents. In retirement age, you really may be worried about having the funds, you know, and like I said, there's a time that the recession is pretty much coming out of it as slump, at least if you're in the US. It's going to be a lot slower if you're in Europe and and Africa, because and obviously China. I mean, at 20% youth unemployment, you know, there's some worries about their future, your future, and opportunities in your future. You know, this could be opportunities and choices. But if you're in the US, you're slowly coming out of it, where, you know, places like Europe and those other places, because they're so reliant on various different, you know, supply chains and value chains within our supply network, they aren't going to come out of it quickly. You may have family there, you may live there, you may be an expat. I was an expat. I understand, like, trying to like juggle all these lifestyles and all these choices that you have. So I see here, obviously, that this is kind of the environment around you right now, how you're feeling. Absolutely. This 10 of Wands, this 5 of Cups, feeling that what is happening is there needs to be a choice to make, is the what. There's obviously a choice, dwindling down how you're distributing your energy. If you're a kid, like maybe you're an athlete and you are, you know, in all these other various clubs, whether it's debate club or whether you play an instrument, or if you're older, you know, you could be volunteering at your church. Like, this could make you happy. So you really, you have to decide where you want to divert your energy, because again, COVID is not over. So if you are putting yourself out there in community organization activities and you are immune compromised, or you will be meeting someone during this holiday season that is immune compromised, that may be one of the factors that decides, like, you know what, I love doing this, but I can't do that this year because I don't want to end up getting somebody else, or literally sending them to the hospital, you know, or dying. There, you know, it's just a real unfortunate time. So also get your vaccine, get your flu shot. I mean, I can't say, I'm not a health professional and I'm not here to promote one thing or the other, but for the safety of yourself and those around you, so you can continue to shine, you know, be happy and stuff like that, because I really see that this is the energy around you. You have that opportunity to be happy. You're a little bit worried about money, but you're excited about, you know, the season. This may be your favorite time of the season as well. You know, like Christmas might be your yay. Your Advents, you know, in Europe every weekend is the Advents. You go to the Weihnachtsmarkt, the Christmas markets, and you drink your Glühwein or your Glühge, or your cider in the U.S. Now, I mean, like I said, you don't seem to have a lot of money. You're not growing money from trees, you know, but there's a certain sense of comfortableness. You just need to pinch where you need to pinch, and, you know, make those decisions where that is. And how you're going to do this is really being concise and distinct about your ideas. Now, the King of Swords and the Justice card. Okay, so I'll start. This is the Justice card here, which is Libra energy. We have Libra energy, Gemini energy, and Leo energy out of the main arcanas. So we have Justice, Six of Swords, Ace of Swords, and King of Swords, all upright. Now, the Justice and the King of Swords are very similar to me. I mean, look at this griffin. Oh, it's just gorgeous. My goodness. My second favorite, no, this is my favorite card. I think it's the King of Fire is my second. I think it's a Phoenix. Now, the Justice, like I said before, it is all about, you know, intellectual balance, about this positive and negative energy, this active and inactive, this male and female. This is a Korean, this is a Korean tale about, you know, someone who seeks justice, rules and laws, and you know, like kind of diplomacy, finding things. Now, the King of Swords is using that same kind of intellectual strength and incorporating that, which would be great for Cancer, because Cancer is ruled by water, and water is a very emotional thing. So they understand the possible ramifications and the holistic relationship between what can be a good idea and what is actually good to implement, because society has a different probable set of needs, or the people around you in your environment have a different set of needs, things that apply to them emotionally, you know, things that, like the well-being, you can say that, oh, this sounds like such a great idea, And it's so smart, if you fall into this criteria or category of socioeconomic class or racial class or demographic of society, where it may not be, you may not fit into one of those. So it may not be a good idea, or the people around you all may not fit into that one. You may live in a wealthy neighborhood, but yourself not be very wealthy. Therefore, when a community organization asks if you can participate in a certain way, it's easier for other people because they can offset it either through their funds or their bank accounts, where you may not be able to. So you have to take more time because you're trying to save money by doing some of these obstacles, and that requires you to actually give up their time. Like, you may not be able to spend the extra money to have it delivered to you or have somebody go buy it for you, so you have to go and drive 20 minutes maybe to a thrift store to try and get some of these things, or go to a special market that's cheaper so you can save the money, So there's some real value. Like I said, in retirement, you have a more set monthly income, of what you live off of. So it may not be as easy for you. Now, if you're young and you're just kind of starting off, and maybe you're in college or you're just graduating, these things, it's more, I think for these messages, it's accepting what the higher social structure, like if you live in a house, with your parents, it is, being acclimating to their requests at this time, because they're trying to do the best by you, and they're trying to create the most balance for everyone in the family. So they're just asking you to be receptive to that, be diplomatic, because this is something that you could be, this is new to you, trying to use these communication tools within the landscape and environment that you're in, but it is a very strong tool. This Ace of Swords is always a great, a new idea, new communication, a new opportunity to create a network, and I'm getting network out of these ropes for some reason, kind of like a spider web, even though I know they're ropes and, they bind things, but, and this all requires you to kind of head someplace new, be a different kind. Like I said, Cancer is usually ruled by emotions, so it's not really, deep thought and intellectual contemplation. It's more how do I feel, and it's also grounded in a different emotional interpretation of things, where she's in a boat with lots of emotions. So what you need to do is you need to navigate these emotions by using your head. Not like I mentioned earlier, during this time of year, you really need to stay away from creating false narratives. Stick to the facts, stick to the truth, and direct your boat that way. Now, normally this is all about being led in a different direction by forces around you, but really specific case, I'm feeling that you need to lead it in a direction by using your own intellectual maturity around things instead of your emotional. So this is the how you're going to get over making these choices, because there's choices that need to be made, because you do have an Ace of Cups here, and you really want to stop giving your energy out. You want, there's a lot of sun energy around you, and that may be just a perception you're putting out there, but there's lots of positive aspects about this time of year and about being you at this time, and opportunities for happiness in your environment during this time. So this will go from this full moon up into the next full moon. So, right up into the new year. But it's just how to do that is really, balancing things and using communication through facts, not feelings. Don't start those arguments based on, well, you said this, and the person's no, I didn't. And they didn't say that, because you just decided to make up what they said based on your own emotional interpretation of it. I have someone in my family that does that all the time. It's exhausting. It is exhausting for the people around you, and it's exhausting for you. So if you are that person, that may be where you're losing your energy, not willfully, because you don't realize that all that does, that negativity and that kind of gaslighting and that repurposing of a message is just draining you of the positive energy, which is the sun. So, I mean, oh, and this is Ra, you know, the goddess of sun and rebirth. So it's, you have the ability to really nurture something here and to enjoy your time. It's just all about finding that balance in your life, like leading with, you know, intention, but not an emotional intention, leading with an intellectual intention. And you can, like, you know, start getting rid, like you can get rid of the cycle. You can stop dying, stop feeding this tree, right? Because this is it, you're prepared to end this cycle. You're prepared to end it, and you're not just prepared, you really want to end this cycle. Like, you're willing and ready. You just really need to take more of a judicial approach, a kind of like how, I don't want to say a rule of law in the sense that obviously, yes, society has rules and laws, and if you are that person, you do need to abide by them if you're an individual. But you are either this person who is gaslighting people, or you are a product of the person that is gaslighting you. So if you are being gaslit, you need to be strong and committed. Don't let them continue gaslighting you. You need to be able to, for every time they say something false to you or try to get you to believe a falsehood, you need to know the truth of the situation and communicate that in a very direct, stern, and stoic manner. Like, this is all about being able to defend yourself. Like, literally, like, I mean, the sword is a defensive item. I mean, it's an attack item. Obviously, it's a tool, an attack tool. But it's, you know, used to defend yourself as well as, you know, attack. So, I mean, this sword is upright. This sword is upright. Now, this sword is in the down. So I think that, like, and all these, the ones in the middle, are all pointing upward. And this one in the west is pointing downward. So to me, that's more like you taking that sword, knowing what you want to say, and once you've said it, sticking it in the ground firmly and saying, this is it, this is how I feel, you know, standing true to it, and like using it as in that case, like, don't cross this line. Enough is enough. And that'll also be how you make your decision. So you may be avoiding the person that in my dream that you may be avoiding is someone who is gaslighting you. Now we have the 11, the 6, and the 19. So there's no, you know, no direction moving. But it's this is all air energy, which is all mental energy, all thoughts. And then these decisions are all around, like, money and money and happiness. Like, somehow money is related to your happiness in some way, or if it's not specifically money, it is material value, something of physical material value. So we've got the what and the how. And what I'm seeing from this, because we're going to go into the clarifyings for each one of the sun signs now, and we already know how to turn yourself into this. It's really clear. Like, the Justice and the King of Swords are really just very similar cards, and this is just the major arcana, so it's something that the decision that you make and how you approach a situation is actually going to change who you are going forward. This is an opportunity for you to create a different characteristic about yourself. You know, start leading with intention instead of emotion, overcoming that. You know, it's really is bringing in around a new habit and a new characteristic about yourself that you can bring into the future. So we already know the how, and it's very clear the how, and the what is obviously making this decision based on, you know, that a decision that it leads to more happiness. You know, you're kind of struggling through, you're giving your energy away, you know, so that decision is all about stop giving your energy away. And so this is making that decision to stop, like, how you're going to do that. And this is the environment around you. So I'm not sure what I really specifically need to clarify here. It doesn't feel like anything needs to be clarified. So for this following step, I am just going to get additional messages from Spirit. So the next section is going to be each one of your sun signs, any additional message that specifically ties to you. So I'm guessing this decision, it's going to talk about, you know, whether the decision is love or money or travel or job or, you know, home life, is what I'm guessing that the clarifications, what additional messages you need to know. It's going to be about this choice. So I am going to keep all 3 of my choice cards out. I'm going to turn them upright. And before we go into the clarifying section, I am going to give you an oracle card. Let's see, on the how. Maybe any additional information. I mean, it's not that it's going to be any additional information, but possibly the inspiration that's going to help lead you towards embodying this new aspect of yourself. So this is going to be about inspiration, because you want some fire energy in here. And I mean, I know you're Cancer and you're not really about the fire energy, but we have fire here. So I'm going to go with, what inspiration do you need to lead you towards this new path, right? What is, please, spirits, guides, guardians, and the universe, beautiful universe, please guide our Cancers towards what inspiration is it that they need to hear, seek, embody, so they can achieve this new path. Thank you for their highest good. Thank you very much, Spirit. Now we have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be serious. I love that this came out because it really does relate back to this 3 of Cups and this Sun card. You know, creation, creating things like the sun can create, and this 3 of Cups. And like I said earlier, it's even though you feel stifled by that 4 of Coins, you are going to enjoy the festivity season. This could be your favorite time of year. So really embody that. Like, that's the inspiration you need. It could be that when you're going to these things, you're gaining confidence. When you go to these events, you gain this confidence, this new confidence, and how you speak to people even at these events. And I mean, she's literally sitting in a holiday kind of like spirited, these old timey, you know, white Christmas style champagne glasses. So you may, White Christmas, maybe one of your favorite holiday movies as well. Now, I can't tell if she's a mermaid or if she's just also very styled of the 1930s movies where, you know, like whether it's old Marx Brothers movies, maybe a day, I think it's A Day at the Races. It's not A Night at the Opera. It might be A Day at the Races where, yeah, he's the horse doctor. And you know, you go, and back in those days, you would literally go to, when you go to a restaurant for dinner, there's a show, or, you know, it's this big event. So this maybe, you may be even attending a 1920s, 1930s style themed party. Now there's also this magic carpet over here, which I love. So it's really saying, be willing not just to play in where you are, but take that adventure. You know, if somebody offers, stop avoiding it. Like, you know, I mean, if you're avoiding something like this, maybe, you know, it's just really, it's time to have fun. It's time to have fun. So that's the inspiration you need. Look at what it is that makes you happy and start doing that. Start doing that thing. Start doing those things. Now I turned all these choice cards upright because, or decision cards, because we're going to go through, so one is, you know, the Beauty and the Beast tale. It's part of Aladdin, and I wish I knew that one better off the top of my head. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to show clarifiers for each one of your sun signs. So if you don't want to stick with me, first off, if you're enjoying this, please like, share, or subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the reciprocal energy and support. If you are not going to stay with me, you can go ahead and fast forward to your sun sign now, and I will see you there. If not, yes, you can watch me do this fun part. Thank you very much again. I appreciate everything. Love and light. All right, spirits. This is for our Cancer moon, Aries sun. Can you please guide me for the highest good, Aries sun, Cancer moon, the Empress. Beautiful. Like I said earlier when I was talking, you know, that's the 7 of Chariot. I didn't mention that. Darn it. I forgot to mention that. The Chariot came out as a channeled message too, which is the Empress and the Emperor together. And it's the Emperor. When the Emperor came out earlier, that's when I stopped shuffling the cards because I'd asked for that energy. Okay, so, and the Emperor rules Aries, so now you're getting its divine counterpart here. So Cancer, Moon, Aries, Sun. If you're Cancer, Moon, Aries, Sun, the Empress is your card. So I am now on to Cancer, Moon, Taurus, Sun. Cancer, Taurus. Please, spirits, guide me towards Cancer, Taurus. What do they need to know for their highest good? Thank you very much, Spirit. I accept all guidance in this matter. Oh, one wanted to come out there. 2 almost. There we go. Oh, no. Those definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, speaking of the Magician, I'm not even kidding. The Magician. Not even kidding. Okay, the Magician in reverse for, oh no, the Magician. I was talking about the Emperor. Magician for Taurus. Next up, we have Gemini, our Gemini sons. Spirit, what do we have for our Gemini sons? Thank you very much for all the guidance. All right, Gemini sons. 7 of Swords. I'm not surprised to see a 7 of Swords for a Gemini. I'd be less surprised if it was a Gemini moon. Now we are on to our Cancer. So Cancer moon, Cancer sun. This is a double up of you. All right, Cancer. 9 of Wands in reverse. Again, it's that 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands. And this one's in reverse. So next up, we have our Leo sun. So Cancer moon, Leo sun. This is your card. Please, Spirit, guide me. Woo. The Tower. All right, next up, we have Virgo. Virgo sun. We have Virgo sun, Cancer moon. Spirits, please guide us for their highest good. What additional messages do they need to know? I am taking this one, not these ones. Man, Carrion Nation just likes coming out right now. My goodness. I mean, I've gone through, this is the first time out, first time out, first time out. She has made an appearance at every single reading. I have to mention that. So, next up after already, Libra it is. Libra gets that Sophie Scholl energy. I like that for you this time. All right, after Libra, we have Scorpio. We're going back to water. So, Scorpio, suns and our Cancer moons. Scorpio, sun, Cancer moons. Please, spirits, guide us for the highest good. This is such an amazing card. Such an amazing card. Play. Play. It's very fire energy. It's got that fire symbol there. Sorry. We have Cancer moon with Scorpio sun. Cancer moon, Scorpio sun. Please, what you have for me? All right. After Scorpio, we have our Sagittarius. So, Cancer moon, Sagittarius sun. Spirit, please guide us for our highest good for our Cancer moon, Sagittarius sun. All right, next up we have Capricorn. I don't know why I flipped it out that way. I felt like I had to. Very weird. So, Cancer, Capricorn it is. 2 of Cups. Love. You might actually... Yeah, right. Aquarius. Helen Keller, 2 of Swords. Great, last up, Pisces. What do we have? Cancer moon, Pisces sun. Pisces sun, Cancer moon. Why do I feel like there's a card that wanted to come out there. Okay. Last card. Cancer, Moon, Pisces, Sun. What do we have for Cancer, Moon, Pisces, Sun? Cancer, Moon, Pisces, Sun. Nope. Maybe that was a card. Cancer, Moon, Pisces, Sun. Please, Spirit, guide us for their highest good. Show us what additional messages we need to hear. All right. Harriet Tubman, beautiful, even if it isn't reversed. So this is actual Cancer energy as well. Okay. All right, Aries, thanks for coming back. If you didn't watch me deal out the cards. So any additional messages I have for our Cancer Moon, Aries Sun is going to be the Empress. So this goes on with the Sun, the nurturing. This is that fourth house energy, fertility, Nefertiti, the goddess, obviously. Definitely growing and building. I mean, all these little, like, I don't know if they're, no, they're too small to be swans. Are they? Oh, no, they're swans, which are said to also mate for life. So the additional message for you regarding your choices, I would say follow what nurtures. It could be follow the love direction and what can breed new life. Like, this is all about creating a new project or creating a new life, or it's also the number 3 is, you know, the power of 3. So this could be your third attempt at something, and that's why you're avoiding it, because you think, oh gosh, this could fail again. But I'm seeing this time it could definitely work. You might see the number 3, like 333, around when an object or a moment or an instance, and that will guide you and direct you towards the answer. And so again, we're talking about, you know, how to secure your energy, how to make that choice, how to stop giving your energy away. And even though nurturing is very energy intense, I'm seeing that the thing that maybe you love the most, or that this is your third time trying it, or it's literally like whatever you need to focus on, instead of just doing something for somebody else, if it nurtures you, then that is the choice that you have to make. But this is very strong energy. This is very divine energy. I would definitely recommend looking up a little story about Nefertiti as well, because I believe that anytime that, like, I use these specifically not just because of the meaning of the Empress itself, but the divine figure, which is featured on the cards, I always believe has an important message for you. Also, just to double check, I want to see, yes, I mean, this is a heavy earth sign, and she does rule the planet Venus, and which is why the love and money, actually, it's also Venus rules money as well. So this goes back again because it's between love, and it could be a literal choice between love and money. So whatever is related to that third try, that power of 3, that divine connection, something that nurtures you, that is your additional support, because it could be absolutely something beautiful. I mean, this is a major arcana. So thank you very much, our Cancer Moon, Aries Sun. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. There's also a meditation at the end of this video if you want to fast forward to that. I appreciate all the support. Love and light. All right, thank you for joining back with me. This is our Cancer Moon with our Taurus Sun, and we have Marie Curie, the Magician, in reverse. Oh, I think it's my ring. Now, if not, and none of you know who Marie Curie is, now she did create, like, I mean, she helped us, obviously, the advancements in innovation that her science was able to use to create the radiology, because it's her daughter that helped create the other. Like during World War I, it's her tools that helped save a soldier's life, because she had an X-ray machine that was able to decipher it. Now, also during that, she discovered, I believe, polonium, which is this green iridium, or not vibranium, obviously. That's stupid. Anyways, but she would, like, because it would light up, she would actually keep it next to her bedside. Now, slowly, obviously, she was dying of radiation poisoning because of this. But as a woman during this time, now, it was her and her husband that worked together in Paris or in France to, you know, work on the science behind all this. So partnership, it could be very important as well. But she was gifted with these amazing, you know, I believe she's actually Polish, and she had to go to school. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. To school in Paris, where you know, both her and her sister kept trying to work to pay for the school. But so she has all these gifts, like these talents and these gifts, and it's about using all the tools at her disposal, because she was, obviously, it wasn't as easy for her, and creating. Now, the Magician in reverse, like, you may be blocked from like this choice because you're giving away too much energy. It's not, you're out of balance, you're out of sync, you're not creating, like, you're not the Marie Curie that you could be. You're, you know, pre-funding Curie, like, you're just, your additional message is maybe, I mean, how to do it was clear, you know, the what's happening, the what needs to make a decision. It's the additional message for you Tauruses is you may be blocked from making that decision. Now may not be the time to make that decision. Let it play out a bit. Like, go and have your fun, enjoy yourself. Don't put labels on any commitment. Don't try and start a new business. You know, like, whatever these choices is, definitely release some of the burden on you by redirecting your energy, but don't make any big decisions. Don't ask for something from the universe right now that you think you want. Again, Gemini, this is Gemini time, so what you're interested in may change in 2 weeks. Be very careful about what you ask for, because the Magician can bring it about, and Gemini is a very Loki style energy, and it could just be messing with you. Now, the Magician is the first house of the self as well. So, you know, like I said, like the Six of Swords was saying earlier, is there was a you that existed, and you need to take a new path. So this is all about, like, this is for you. That card was yours, as you're going to have the most trouble trying to reignite a new identity, or reignite a new pattern in your life, or a new routine, or a new way of doing something. This is going to be a lot harder for you, and it's going to be harder to manifest. So it's warning you, just have patience. It may not come as quickly. I mean, there's maybe way too many choices for you for it to come quickly. So take your time. Again, meditation will help. Gemini is the art of communication, and all those swords of the how were all about different forms of communication. So whatever communication tool you find best works for you, which, being a Taurus, silence is not going to do it right now. You really need to find a better way to communicate than just silent verbal cues. No, silent, not non-verbal cues. Definitely using your words, whether that's on paper or audio recordings, sound, or, you know, just writing something. Just, you're going to actually have to use your words, which may be a little uncomfortable for you, which is why this is so much harder, which is why it's going to take longer. All right. So our Cancer moon with our Taurus sun. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, Please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support and energy. At the end of this video is a short meditation to help rejuvenate you. I recommend going there before you return to your day's activities. Thank you very much. Love and light. All right, our Cancer moon with our Cancer sun. So this is double. A double. No, this is not Cancer. This is Gemini. This is our Cancer moon with our Gemini sun. Perfect. I'm like, I looked at the swords. I'm like, no. This is Gemini. This is absolutely Gemini. Seven of Swords is going to be a test. Like, you had the 6 to the 7, you had the 6 of Swords, you were headed in a direction this way. Now the additional it's going to be real quick, Gemini, for you, because this is also your moon, and this makes a lot of sense. The additional message from Spirit that they want to tell you: really watch your tongue. Don't over communicate. Again, this Gemini moon, don't set the narrative based on gaslighting. You know, don't embody that King of Swords energy in reverse. Don't use that intellect to overpower people. Don't be manipulative. If someone is manipulative in your environment, or your landscape, because this is in the upright, so this can refer literally to someone embodying these manipulative behaviors, these calculating behaviors, then you need to expunge them for your life. That's the choice that you need to make. They're literally, you may have an energy vampire around you, and you need to get rid of them. It's a simple choice. It really is a clear cut. Now, unfortunately, if this is a part of your person in your family, whether it's your parent or it's your kid or it's your lover, really, it's just warning you that there is someone, either you are the energy vampire and you need to check yourself, or someone in your energy field is the energy vampire, and the way to overcome that energy is by going out and, have fun, celebrate, and don't be too serious. Don't let them get into your space, and it's, what is going on here? Why does it want to, what's happening? Even this card wants to play around with me. It was totally fine before. Now it won't stay in its spot. So, yeah, definitely get moving. Motion. Even working out. Going and enjoying a workout. Also, I got, oh my gosh, while I was doing that, there was this real distinct messages coming through. Oh, it left too quick because I disregarded the message. Oh, goodness gracious. First time that's really come through so strongly, and my spirit guides, and I failed to connect with it. I'm sorry. So an energy vampire definitely around you that is literally sucking that energy out of you, because this is the channeled message for the day, that energy that's just flowing right out of that card. So, I mean, the choice needs to be made. It may not be an easy choice. It may just be separating yourself and distancing yourself from them for a little while. Now, again, the recommendation always at the beginning of this, during this Gemini new moon, oh yeah, that's the energy that came through. Sorry, thank you very much. The 7, like I mentioned earlier, the 7 of fire, in the case of that deck, which was courage, it's all about creating that protective barrier. And, setting those healthy boundaries. So if somebody is invading your space, you need to set up those healthy boundaries. And communication is obviously how you're going to do that. You need to stand in your power, stand in your knowledge and strength, if your internal strength, not an external. You don't have to get aggressive about it. It's actually being very calm and collective and approaching it in a very stoic manner. I'm using the word stoic a lot, and I really like that word for that King of Swords energy. So, Lucrezia Borgia, I would also recommend possibly looking her up and what story she was involved in. I do not have it on the top of my head. I apologize. But I feel like you could, relate to that. But again, I really having fun during this time. Don't let this person drag your energy down with you. Cut off, use that King of Sword energy to cut that energy vampire right there. So our Cancer Moon, Gemini Sun, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. At the end of this video is a meditation just to rejuvenate you. I recommend just skipping to the end and finishing off there. Thank you very much. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me, our Cancer Moon and our Cancer Sun. Cancer Moon, Cancer Sun, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So you're really getting out of that. That extra message to me, that additional message to you from Spirit is just letting you know that you're coming out of this, like in this case, it's like the wounded warrior. You know, you've had to put up with a lot, and you've done everything to persevere. You have either built structures around yourself to protect you. You have created those boundaries, healthy boundaries to connect you. You have communicated with the right people. You have met the right people. You have created alliances or diplomacy. You have done all those things. So you are slowly reaching that point. You are doing all the work necessary right now to get out of that. Like, you're done. You're not the wounded warrior anymore. It is literally time for you to go play. It's like not something like you don't have to work on being wounded anymore. You're done being wounded. You've released yourself from that energy. This is Jovita Idar. And it's like you've participated in whatever revolution it is that you want to participate in, and now you're able to reap some of that benefit and that reward. You're able to go to those parties and have that fun. You made it like this, that decision that like you probably already made that decision, I'm guessing, for the cancers. You've made that decision, and it's now time to reap that benefit. You've cut that energy, you know, away from you. You're no longer seeping energy because you're no longer wounded. You are making that, you've cut all those options out. You've cut the 10 of Wands out. Like, it's done. And you're down to just focusing on the two, you know, important things, like balance. You're focusing on the balance. So I see that you are already embodying, if you already have done it, or you are currently literally, you know, not manifesting that, but you are interacting with that energy to create it. I see that is very positive energy for you, our Cancer Moon and Cancer Sun. So you're ahead of some of these. I mean, over here, the Empress is, of course, they have to create something first. I mean, you've already pretty much handled you've already taken on all the pain and stuff, and you've brushed it off and said, okay, I did it, I conquered it, I'm done. It's time to play. So I do hope you enjoy the holidays. It looks like you're going to have a good holidays and enjoy yourself, absolutely. Like, obviously, you've saved enough money so you can enjoy those things. So thank you very much, Cancer Moon, Cancer Sun. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, or subscribe. I enjoyed all the reciprocal energy and all the support. Just at the end of this video is a short rejuvenation meditation. I recommend checking that out before you leave. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning to me, our Cancer Moon with our Leo Sun. Cancer Moon with Leo Sun. We have here the Tower, and it is, oh my God, it should be Anne Boleyn, right? Yeah, it is Anne Boleyn. So you're feeling really constricted by your decision that you have to make. Almost like you can't make the decision. Like, society's not allowing to you, or limits aren't allowing to you, like certain pressures are not allowing you to make this decision. And that is going to lead to a real blow up. In this case, like, if you don't make the decision, I think your tower is going to turn upside down, and it's literally going to cause an eruption. And it's all good, all that communication thing that's in that positive energy here, that's all upright, all great, strong, you know, directed, intellectually, you know, mature communication is going to turn upside down just like this, and it's going to lead to a lot of emotional fight. It's going to lead to a lot of fighting, a lot of grudges being like built on this holiday that could last the entire year. It may not get actually, or it won't end until Leo season, or the Tower is ruled by Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. Let me double check. The Tower is, oh yeah, it's ruled by Mars, so it's still a fire fire symbol. So it is that, Mars and Leo energy. So it may not pass until Leo season comes. Now, obviously, if you're a father and a daughter, or I don't know why that came to mind. I was going to say a parent and a child, you will still have to live with this person, but it's going to be very contentious living conditions. If it's a friend, you literally may not meet until there may be a party coming in the Leo season that brings you back together for a situation, and that's where you make amends. But if you don't deal with whatever decision, and I'm getting toxic, there's a toxic decision, there's a toxicity around you, and it's preventing some of these decisions to be made. If you don't, and it's the reason the decision can't be made because there is, like, maybe you're married to the person, like there's literally boundaries set up by society that are feeling like you can't make that choice. Like, it's so easy to say, but it's harder to do. It's harder to bring into action. And this is a very action card, and fires are very action-based people and very passion-based people. And this is ruled by a fire sign, and you are a fire sign, and your sun sign, the I who I am, the sun who rules how people see you, or how you present yourself to the world. How you present yourself to the world. So it's really challenging you. So this is a very challenging time for you. I don't know how you're going to make the decision, but whatever you do, if you don't, because I feel like a lot of you are not going to make that final decision, that one that really needs to be made, and you're going to avoid it. This is definitely the avoidance person. You're avoiding, like, because I feel like if you make the decision, it'll actually turn out different than what you thought. It may not be your Ace of Cups, but at least it's not dragging you down into this abyss of a hole, this singularity here that's forming in the sand. If you don't know what a singularity is, go ahead and look it up. So it's gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna, because this is such a difficult situation. Okay, so we talked about, this was the inspiration. We talked about the choice we made. The how was the communication. Okay, what energy can you embody for the best results? Our Cancer Moon, Leo Sun. What can prevent this tower from blowing up in your face? Okay, what the best energy? That there's a lot of scattered. Did you see them like forming at the top? Too much scattered energy there. I feel really, there's a lot of distraction and confliction. Page of Coins in reverse. Something to do with your finance. And like I said before, whatever happens, it may lead to not speaking to this person until the Leo season. And that this could be a very prolonged a prolonged turmoil, I want to say. Now, I would say offering any kind of material gift isn't going to help the situation either. So don't try and approach it like thinking you can throw money at it, or thinking you can throw possessions at it. This is not a situation that will help. Like, if you did something bad, you want to buy flowers or a necklace or, something like that. That's not the way to answer this. So that just helps. I hope that helps make your decision of how to do this. Money is not the way to approach it. And because in fact, I'm seeing if you do take the money approach as well, it's the same kind of instance. You're not gonna have that reconciliation till about Leo season, which is end of July, August. It's going to take a while to mend. And if you already did have that blow up, this is telling you it's going to take a while to mend. So don't try and force it by thinking you can like buy them, oh, just deliver, you know, like buy them something online and have it delivered to their house. Or not, no. Don't waste your money, and don't put that negative energy out there, because they're going to be upset by it. So if that was what you were thinking you should do in your situation, don't do it. That's what we're getting as an extra response. All right, my Cancer moon, Leo sun, thank you very much for joining. I hope these messages resonated with you. If you enjoyed, please like, share, or subscribe. I enjoy all the support. Don't forget to hit the meditation up before you leave this video. And thank you very much again. Love and light. All right, thank you very much. Our Cancer moon with our Virgo sun. You are the sign that got Carrie Nation this time. So 5 of Swords for just your extra message around this time, especially with this play. I'm getting a very, very clear message from this card in this case. It's a very interesting, because her story is very interesting. And the 5 of Swords, you know, they each have their individual meanings. But stay away from be wary of too much alcohol during this season. Be wary of people who drink too much alcohol. Don't get into fights with people who drinking too much alcohol, because all that communication energy that was very high vibrational over here will turn low vibrational. You will succumb to that, like, you know, just that playground behavior of insults. So I'm getting just a simple, very clear message for any additional information coming for you. This doesn't have to do with making your choice. It could definitely have to do with the overall energy of somebody seeping the energy out of you. And you're just like, not just what you're willingly giving away, but what is somebody is taking from you and seeping out of you. And the topic of avoidance, in your essence, you need to avoid literally people who are indulging themselves too much. Now, Carrie Nation came from a family where alcohol abuse was created a very toxic environment for her, and as such, she became a very, you know, on the spectrum of kind of like ideologies, you know, in order to stop what she thought was bad, she became a very fundamental crazy person about that. I mean, she helped establish prohibition, which obviously led to a lot of bad things happening. And she literally carried around this hatchet. You can just see this hatchet right here. And she would take it to meetings and destroy tables and stuff like that. So very strong message. Avoid any overly people that are indulging in substance abuse during this time. Now, if you are someone yourself who is a user of substances, please try and seek help during this time period. It may lead to very bad situations. You may be kicked out of your house. You may lose an inheritance. You may, like the choice that someone is making, whether they want to divorce you or not, they may end up divorcing you. I mean, there's just some situations, like they may take your kids away from you. The state may take your kids away from you. You know, they're just really seek help. There's AA has meetings. There are meditation centers around the city that will offer you spiritual guidance. Churches also will offer, though, I mean, they are one of the biggest alcohol users, are people of the cloth. But, you know, there are plenty of places you can seek help. I recommend doing that. Or, you know, if you have to actually, the party thing that you're, or the gathering, the social gathering that you are participating in, you might have to do an intervention for someone. And that's the message I am getting for you, my Cancer moons, Virgo suns. Thank you very much for joining today. I hope this resonated with you. If you did enjoy, please like, share, or subscribe to the channel. I enjoy all the support. Please go to the end of this video where there's a short meditation just to help you integrate back into the daily life. Thank you again. Love and light. All right, thank you for returning. Our Cancer moon, Libra sun. So Cancer moon, Libra sun, you got Sophie Scholl, the 5 of Wands. This goes into, you know, that energy of being stretched too many directions. And this could definitely be you, like that 9. Like some of you had 9 things you had to do. Some of you had 7 things you had to do. Some of you had 3 things you had to juggle. This 5 of Wands is definitely understanding the battles that you have to fight and where to direct your energy. Like, and in this, I mean, Sophie Scholl is an amazing story. For any of you who don't know, I mean, she was a university student during the Nazi rule, Nazi Socialismus, during the World War II, and she was part of a social movement that on campus that would distribute these pamphlets talking about how evil the Nazi regime was, and eventually she was caught, tried, and executed. There are streets in Germany, Platzes, Schules, and stuff like that, like the schools named after Sophie Scholl. And you know, her big defining moment was obviously not just what she did, she became a martyr, but when she stood before the judges under their persecution of the laws laid out, like the justice, you know, this justice card that was here is normally following the rules and and justice. And so is the King of Swords, is that your justice might not always be the justice perpetrated through the social constructs in which of institutions where you live. If you are living in an invaded territory, Palestine and such like that, the laws that you would like to abide by are not the laws that are perpetrated against you because somebody else is creating those laws. In China, the lockdown, Taiwan, the single state, you know, Hong Kong, Myanmar, all these places that possibly you're dealing with a situation where the laws aren't, you know, in line with your social beliefs or your moral values. Now, it is about picking this just in general. I know I got off on a tangent there talking about international politics. I apologize. But this is about knowing your battles, picking your battles, choosing your battles, and fighting for what you believe in. You know, if the decision that you make is one that you want to fight for something, like keeping a relationship together, or if it's for protecting your children, or if it's a child and you're in your first new real relationship and you're in love and you just want to keep going at it, you know, just fight for it. Just believe in it. Believe in yourself. Believe in it and stand up for what you believe in. Don't let all the naysayers bring you down. So regardless of where you are in your life, what it is that you're doing in your life, don't let those negative voices bring you down. You are intellectually capable of whatever it is that you want to make, the decision you make, and the decision you make is going to be one that leads to self-fulfillment, self-satisfaction. You know, it's not in reverse, so it's very like that passion that you seek, that you are gratified by. It's going to lead to that gratification. It's a very strong message. I recommend, if you don't, I hope I inspired some of you to look her up. 501. So thank you very much, Cancer, Moon, Libra, Sun. Your additional message on top of everything was just like knowing your battles and where to fight for them, and knowing that when you do fight for that in which you believe, it will be very self-gratifying. So you have a good opportunity to enjoy this time of the year because you know that you're standing in your power. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please like, share, or subscribe. It helps the channel out, and I truly appreciate all the support. At the end of this video is a short meditation. I recommend checking it out before you leave. Thank you again. Love and light. All right, Cancer Moon, our Scorpio Sun, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this, I mean, right off the bat, this is telling me, regardless of whether I look at what her name is that Four of Pentacles card that was in the environment around you right now, that sun, that party, the Four of Pentacles, obviously, and then, oh goodness. Either way, this Four of Pentacles was for you. So you, Scorpios, this season, you may be a little bit worried about money. Now, this is not a bad thing to be worried about. I think this is very prudent of you to worry about this. I mean, don't go exhausting your expenses. Don't be frivolous about you know, what you purchase or where you spend your money, or even how people spend money on you. Like if you're asking for gifts this year, you know, don't let Gemini kind of take over and kind of tell you that you have a new interest in, oh, you really want this, but you've never had an interest in it before. Be very, you know, conscientious even about what it is that you're asking for and what it is that you're willing to give away as far as your money is concerned. You know, because there's some gifts, but thoughtful gifts are, I mean, Scorpio, I mean, you're a deep individual, you're very intuitive, and you have that ability to read into people. So, I mean, take that skill that you have and use that opportunity to create thoughtful gifts. Like things that probably you don't have to spend as much money on, but the recipient will be so much more thankful and grateful for. I mean, this is the time of gratitude and being grateful. So I really think Isabel Stewart Gardner, I will look her up real quick and see what her story is. I may edit the video. Oh, sorry. Thank you for your patience there. I will edit that out. You'll notice it. Okay, so a little bit about Isabel Stewart Gardner, which I think is very interesting, and it's a good call because it kind of reverts back to what I was saying about the thoughtfulness of things, like where to spend your money. Like sometimes being thoughtful is a lot more beneficial, and this kind of Five of Cups energy about just like, you know, the energy that you unfortunately are energy that's seeping out of you, or the energy that you're giving away and leading to this kind of you know, singularity or this abyss of possible darkness and depression here. Isabel Stewart Gardner experienced numerous miscarriages in her life, and she was never able to actually produce an heir. Which is, you know, opposite this Empress energy, which very fertile energy. So it's very non-fertile energy. And she was from an affluent family, but she ended up with her husband because they didn't have children. She ended up traveling the world a lot. And every place that they went, like they had to create a love or an interest or something that gave her happiness. And in her travels, her and her husband ended up accumulating a trove of art. Now, this may not have been, you know, the art may not have been worth much when it started, but by the end, they had an entire collection that is like currently even being curated over in Boston. So they ended up accumulating a very wealthy or a very lucrative collection of art. So this goes back to like you possibly, you know, making something for someone, or buying, you know, again, be conscious. Why isn't this? Focus there for a second. Conscious of how and where you spend your money. So even conscientious consumerism can involve not going the corporate rate of buying things, but there are smaller distributors that have less of a carbon footprint, and the overhead can actually go 100% more to the employees than the distribution of wealth in a larger corporation. So even the employees are getting, you know, more bang for their buck. So knowing where you spend your money and how you spend your money can be very important to you at this time, and to other people, like I said. So this is a real opportunity to not focus on the losses that you've experienced, not focus on this depression, but find outlets. Like it says here, play. You know, find outlets that bring you happiness, and it doesn't have to be focused on money, definitely. But again, that Four of Coins is telling you definitely not to spend too much. Don't be stingy or anything. Don't get that negative thing like, you know, don't treat yourself to that nice meal if you need it. Food is never a waste of money. But just be conscious of how you participate in the material world. All right, thank you very much, Cancer Moon, Scorpio Sun. I hope some of this resonated with you and that you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, or subscribe. I enjoy all the support. At the end of this video is a meditation. I recommend checking that out before you leave to just recenter yourself. Thank you again. Love and light. All right, my beautiful Cancer moon with our Sagittarius sun. Thank you very much for returning. This is going to be your Wheel of Fortune, although it was in reverse. So Elizabeth the First. I mean, people didn't expect her to succeed, and she created great prosperity. Well, I mean, she kind of started like it depending on your perception of colonization, but she really kind of, her reign led to a more active role in colonization by the English, the beginning thereof, of England across the world, kind of way the church in Rome did during their time and their reign, their colonization, or Genghis Khan's colonization of Asia during that time. I mean, each, went through their globalization eras, but she kind of like was the beginning of England's great empire. The sun never sets on England. Now, Wheel of Fortune is a good card. It could just mean the additional message to you is that there are fortunes coming your way. This could just be bonuses. This literally could be bonuses. However, it is in reverse. So it could be something that you're expecting to happen now, but it's not going to come until after the new year. I mean, it's still going to come, but it's not going to come until after the new year. The Wheel of Fortune, in this, I'm getting, it doesn't have to be just literal wealth. Like, obviously, the royalty is royalty, right? I mean, there's always something. They literally have the jewels, or the crown jewels, or they're called the crown jewels, but it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is a very auspicious planet. In reverse, you may feel like, you literally maybe feel like you're having a stream of bad luck with things, and that's what's leading to this. And that's maybe because love before was in reverse, it didn't work out, but really these bad luck things are just divine intervention. Don't take it to heart. Go out there, have fun. Oh, sorry. Oh, goodness. Go out there, have fun, enjoy yourself during this season. Remember to play. Whatever decisions you have to, I mean, obviously this doesn't have to do with the decisions, you know how to deal with those. This is just a little extra tidbit about the environment that's going on in your world for you. Like, this definitely has to do more with what's going on around you. You could be feeling like this is due to just a stream of bad luck. And don't worry, Fortune's wheel will turn, and it does turn, eventually. Like, I feel like sometimes, for instance, I know we used to not get, like, at the old place I worked, like, we got 13 salaries a year. So the money that we got in December for the new year wasn't actually our bonus. It was just our salary doubled up, whereas we didn't get our bonuses till March. So this just may be a delayed kind of like extra bump of money, which is in the US is great because that's also tax season. So you're getting extra money around that time too. So again, if you're like, and it was all about this Four of Cups, these Four of Coins as well. So it could be related to money as well. And you just feel unlucky that you don't have enough, or you can't have the things that you want. But don't worry, Fortune's wheel will change. And it's Gemini season, as I said before. The interest, like, Gemini is always interested in something new and shiny, and then loses interest a couple weeks later. So that thing that you want right now may not be the thing that you actually want long term. So it's best not to waste your money on it. All right, Cancer Moon, Gemini Sun, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. I enjoy all the support. At the end of this video is a short meditation. I recommend checking that out before you leave. Love and light. All right, Cancer Moon, Capricorn Sun, thank you for returning to me. Your card is going to be the Two of Cups. So an additional message from Spirit is the fact that there is love in your surroundings. There's literally love in your environment, and this could be very faded love. This is Lady Eleanor Butler and Sarah Ponsby. One of Lady Eleanor Butler was obviously part of the royal lineage in the UK, and she met and fell in love with this Sarah Ponsonby. Now, I mean, homosexuality was outlawed in England. I mean, that's how we lost one of our greatest, our century's greatest minds. Alan Turing is because he was jailed for being a homosexual and eventually died in jail. But it could have been just due to the times. They didn't understand, or they didn't have a care for what homosexuality was yet. It hadn't been, you know, adopted by the church yet as something so demonic. But these women outside of London, England, lived together for the entirety of their life and enjoyed a very fruitful life. So literally the extra message for you, our Capricorn Sun, Cancer Moon, is that there could be love in your life. I don't know if you're purposely avoiding it, because this really goes with this Ace of Cups here. And if for you, you know, this Lover's card, this Beauty and the Beast is also would be a direct message to you, because that could also be divine counterparts. Now, I didn't get any divine counterparts in any part of the reading, but this is the only divine counterpart card, which means out of all of these, I'm really only seeing love as being a message for you, Capricorn Sun, Cancer Moons. And it is a very auspicious love. It is like water and fire, so emotion and passion. You know, I mean, it's really, it's can blossom. I mean, all the like roses in this, even this sun looks like just a giant flower blossoming. So that's very beautiful. It's a beautiful message. It's very clear, succinct, and I mean, as long as it's not, I mean, the one thing I don't like about this being the Lover's card is, you know, Beauty and the Beast is all about a, you know, beautiful, calm, intelligent, smart, funny woman has to turn this aggressive, you know, toxic man into a suitable partner. But I mean, I really think, regardless of the message of that story, there's some true love coming in for you. So thank you very much, Cancer Moon, our Capricorn Sun. It's a very beautiful, short, and direct message. It doesn't matter your age, or it doesn't matter your sex. This is a relationship that is forming that will last a long time. And that could not even be a sexual relationship. It could be a friendship relationship, especially you retiree ladies, which I'm seeing, you know, two older women. You don't have to be sexually romantic, but as the men start dropping off at older ages, you may actually find your soul, you know, your soul partner as far as friendship is concerned. And that's really beautiful here. So if you resonated with this or enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support, and don't forget to check out the meditation video at the end here, just to help rejuvenate you as you enter out and back into the world. Love and light. All right, Cancer Moon with our Aquarius Sun. Helen Keller has not come out yet. I'm excited to talk about Helen Keller. Now, this is in reverse, so the Two of Swords. The nice thing, you know, always the Two of Swords is always blindfolded usually, but in this sense, Helen Keller was blind, so you don't need that. And that's the kind of like interjection in some sense of this, is that the decision that had to be made, because you made the decision. This is very clear, because this is all about needing to make a decision, which is in line with everything that we talked about here, as the what needed to happen was making a decision. And you clearly, out of I think you and one other person, yes, it was the Cancers as well, made the decision, type of decision that they had to make, because theirs was literally about building up structures. Yours is actually the mental decision, the determination, which is very much with the how, very in line with the how. So you have made your decision of what it is you need to focus on, what it is that makes you happy, and now you can go and party. I mean, Helen Keller had a very fruitful life, even though with all the disabilities that she was handed, you know, going blind at a young age due to an infection. And I mean, she had the support of Anne Sullivan, who they're lifelong friends as well, or lifelong partners. And I mean, it's just like her sickness created the opportunity for her to create an entire language, her and Anne Sullivan together. or to be a proponent of people with disabilities. So whatever decision you have to make, it is going to lead to great fulfillment. I mean, she's sitting in this white lotus, which is very healing. So this is a decision that you maybe had to make to help heal yourself. And this goes right along with that 5. Like something needs to heal here, right? Like you're giving up way too much energy. You're avoiding this thing, and you are no longer avoiding it. You have confronted it and you've made a decision about it, and now you're enjoying it and growing and healing from it. So I love that message for you, Aquarius Sun, Cancer Moon. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And before you leave, check out the meditation at the end of this video. It will help rejuvenate the energy field around you as you've opened it up to have this this exchange with me. And now we're just going to support it up. Again, that 7 of Wands energy. Build those healthy barriers. Protect yourself. So thank you again. Love and light. All right, lastly, again, this is my Cancer Moon, Pisces Sun. The Chariot, I'm pretty sure is what this card is, because I just know it's Harriet Tubman. And, you know, if there's anyone who isn't as determined and has overcome adversity as anyone, it is her. The Chariot is also actually ruled by Cancer. So the moon is ruled by Cancer as well. So there's a connection between this moon and that energy, using that harnessed emotional energy to create, you know, determination. Now the Chariot is one of the cards that the spirits asked me to check in beforehand in a different book. However, Harriet Tubman's story, I think we're all, and if you are not familiar with Harriet Tubman's story, as you may not be from the United States, she was a former slave that gained her freedom and did various, took on various roles throughout the remainder of her life. One of them being a spy during the Civil War. So infiltrating into the South and reporting back to the North. And now they allowed her to, you know, the South people didn't think of Black people, especially women, as more than just animals. So they never thought she could read or write or understood. So she assisted the North in various strategies regarding supply routes and things like that. Then she also helped create, once kind of the post-world about, like, you know, trying to abolish slavery, everything, she helped establish the Underground Railroad, which was obviously not a real railroad. It was a trail to lead Black people north to seek freedom. And a lot of them ended up working in the industrial sector. And eventually, you know, into old age, you know, she was always a divine figure, a representative of accomplishment and achievement in life. So in reverse, I would say the extra message to you, I'm getting things to slow down. Like, obviously the Chariot is about accomplishment, about achievement, about quick forging ahead. Okay, I'm getting New Year's resolutions. You don't need New Year's resolutions. You just need to embody you, who you are. Don't try and set yourself up for failure, is what I'm hearing. We can't all be Harriet Tubmans, okay? So don't set yourself up for those kind of failures. Like, if the decision you're trying to make is goals for the next year, like if it's something mundane like that, it's those just aren't healthy to live by, because they're limiting you. They're limitations set up for you. So don't subject yourself to limiting behaviors. As well, if it's like these timelines where you have to make things by a certain timeline, also don't set yourself up for that kind of structure. You know, be honest. Honesty. The how is all about honesty. Be truthful to who you are, what you want, not when you want it, how you get it, or anything like that. Just embody the who you are. Yeah, a lot of it, I mean, go out there and have fun right now. Don't be too serious. Don't be too serious. Take that you know, Cancer energy is family, foundation, as well, and fertility. So, you know, just don't let the foundations hold you down during this time. Okay? I don't want to say be ambiguous, because that's not that. Be ambitious, but don't, you can definitely be ambitious, but don't set yourself up with limiting structures. Okay, that's what I'm getting for you. All right, thank you very much, Cancer Moon and our Pisces Sun. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope something resonated with you. Like, share, or subscribe if you enjoyed this channel. I appreciate all the support. And right after this is actually a short meditation. I recommend that you stay on the line. Love and light, and I'll see you next time. Now take a deep breath in, deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure white light. Now just calm yourself and focusing on the sounds.